So where to deploy on this one's not a difficult choice. I've got this great spot in the upper left with energy nodes, with a ton of scrap, with a ship, and with a couple of amp gems. Now amp gems are going to allow me to upgrade my ships, make them more powerful, upgrade the weapons on my ships. I think at this early stage I'm probably just going to slap them both on the cruisers and upgrade the guns. But later on I want to find out what happens when you slap one on a lathe, or a grabber, or a supply ship. Speaking of supply ships, I've got energy node there, but other than that, there's not a whole lot of energy nodes throughout this map. So there's going to be a lot of areas that don't really have good coverage, especially when I begin this final assault on the right. So I'm guessing that this thing up here is a supply ship, but we'll see. So there's this blue and green dot, which is a hole, a wormhole that's going to allow particles, and only particles, to travel through it. Not really going to be a huge threat or boon in this case. Alright, plan. I've got a ton of coverage here, so I can take a little bit of time in establishing my base up here, but I don't have a lot of land, so I'm not going to have a ton of power protection. Drop the corporate HQ right there and snag the node, fly up and grab the other one, omni the land, and then hit this center one as soon as I can. Start miring that up and grab that other energy node. That'll boost my production a lot. Next, hit this emitter down here, take the land behind it, and my power situation should be good. From there, I can take out these two emitters here, and these two I don't really have to worry about for most of it, because a lot of their particles are just going to go to miring this land, and they're going to get wasted, and they're probably not going to fully mire that land before I can get to them and destroy them. So let's get started. Move the command vessel immediately, because recharging energy is way better than scrap. Done. Omnis. Can I get him within range of that? I can. Let's grab a lathe. Snag more of this scrap. As soon as the lathe is done and not drawing any of my power, and as soon as the Omni is done snagging that supply ship, yep, it was a supply ship. So now I can branch out if I need to, but those particles are starting to get close, so I should probably get something that can destroy them. Move the command ship down here for now, use it to snag that and to stop those particles from getting to me. Establish the destroyer up here. Destroyer's fast to build, it's fast and it's cheap, so it's going to be my early game particle killer for now. As soon as it's done, heck, I've got all this extra power. Why am I even bothering? Let's just get a couple cruisers. Spend that money. So that just explained to me how amp gems work. Like I said, I'm saving them for my cruisers. So as soon as those cruisers are done, we're going to slap amp gems in them, and they should do a good number on these particles, which are getting kind of close to me. So let's fall back just a little. Built these cruisers just in the nick of time. I should have prioritized defenses a little harder. So that bottom emitter is a lot tougher than I thought, so we're going to use some heavier firepower to take it out. Amp gem in. Let's get the lathe up here and snag the other amp gem so we can stick it in the other cruiser. Speaking of that, let's do a little bit of damage to this particle. So I can start pushing forward soon. Still draining a little bit of power, which means I'm not producing quite enough power to keep up with my ammunition needs, which means I'm going to need to branch out sooner rather than later in order to keep up with my power needs. So let's do that. Charge. Let's get that energy tanker. Once I got that energy tanker, I can omni that center section. Don't leave the energy. What am I doing on power? Let's get that second lathe up too. And that'll let me take out that lower node very quickly. Wasn't quite paying attention to everything that was going on, wasting valuable seconds. Good. Micro tanker is almost done. There he goes. Now he's got a field. So now we can drop that Omni. Hopefully. Yes, we can drop that Omni. He's providing that radius I need. Should be providing that radius I need to advance. He's providing that radius I need to advance. Come on, Omni. There we go. So at this point, let's use the micro tanker and push up to that node. Take it out. Using the corporate ship potentially a little more aggressively than I should be in this scenario. Because he's going to be taking most of that in the face, versus my cruisers taking most of it in the face, and they're the ones who should be. But if he starts taking a lot of damage, oh yeah, cleared that particle out, no problem. Done. Let's get the lathes in there and snag that mine. Get everybody back into energy range. Drop another Omni in the middle here. Probably use it to take out that mine. At this point, I don't need my remaining guns like the grabbers or the Joven yet, so until I'm actually producing enough power to keep up with my needs, I'm not going to touch them. Let's see if I can use this Omni here to snag that mine. Use the destroyer to cover my supply vessel. I don't quite have the energy range while still staying within range of the field. So we're going to have to push up just a little bit of outside it and rely on this thing either having enough storage space already or sending the guppy back for more. There we go. Now I should just be able to lathe that guy. Or not. Am I just out of range? I'll send the regular lathes in. Or do I not have power? Well, while we're waiting on that, get the supply vessel in range of everything. Okay, I'm just out of juice, that's all. How embarrassing. Thought I had this great tactic going on. It gives me an idea of how much juice this thing carries, which is not a lot. There they go. Not 100% sure what was going on there. Maybe it was a mire issue. It was covered in enemy mire. Okay, reassess. I've got this emitter up here to take out, and then I've just got these two left. They're still doing a very poor job of being any threat whatsoever. So let's just do a full push to this one up top. Once we've done that, we'll take everything we've got and hit those two across the way. So everybody go up and take this one out. Build another Omni. Mire some more land because my power storage is staying just barely ahead at this point, which is excellent. There, that emitter's down. Let's get everybody in and start taking these out. Now I was thinking maybe I could mire up the land on the outside and push up from there, except then realized that that is a totally stupid tactic. I can mire up the land and then go nowhere because the Omnis can't get close enough to affect those two emitters, so really flying straight down the middle here is the only way in. Okay, we're going to need to move things a little bit because I want to put that supply ship as far up as possible. So let's attack with our face. Let's forget to move our lathes first. Actually, I don't really want to move the lathes first in this scenario. I want to clear out some of that particle first. We'll clear out all the particles first, and I can't rely on the tanker having enough juice to keep the lathes supplied. So we're going to see if we can do it while keeping the tanker, sort of, while keeping the tanker within range of an energy field. Yeah, there we go. And this should do it. Let's get the command vessel in there too. I know I'm driving the command vessel outside of range, but he's just here for backup, and if he stops lathing, I'll just fall him back. Zoom in a little bit and see if he's taking enough damage to warrant carrying. He is not. At this point, there's only one left, so yeah, let's go ahead and drive outside of range. We're just killing it faster. And there we go. All in all, tactics were pretty sound. I stalled out a couple times while I was thinking about one thing when I should have been doing another thing. Wasn't quite fast enough to take this central location, and it got pretty mired down, especially with that energy node, but overall very successful.